Welcome back to my channel. I'm Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit Barbecue. On today's video, I'm going to be making up one of my favorite all-time sausage flavors, the Habanero sausage. Stay tuned. Alright, before I get started on this recipe, I do want to thank a few of my subscribers that helped me come up with this recipe on one of my lives the other night. So one of my most common questions I get is how I come up with these recipes, the exact amounts of salt, pepper, and all the other ingredients, and I was able to share this process with a lot of my viewers the other night. So all of the ingredients that I'm using on today's recipe was something that you guys came up with. Let's get to this recipe. Alright, let's glove up. I'm going to be using my knife, so I've got a cut glove and my all-time favorite nitrile gloves from Clean Space. If you guys are interested in getting yourself some of these, check out the links below. Clean Space is offering my subscribers a special deal of $14 a box, and obviously if you buy a case, that's $140 for these awesome nitrile gloves. So one of the things that I absolutely love about these Clean Space gloves is that they're extremely durable. They will not rip when you put them on. Check this out. Really durable glove. All right, let's get to this habanero sausage recipe. I'm going to be using 15 pounds of meat. That's 7.5 pounds of pork and 7.5 pounds of brisket trim. I've got 136 grams of habanero peppers, 68 grams of salt, 51 grams of black pepper, 34 grams of garlic powder, 20 grams of turmeric, 34 grams of onion powder, 5.1 grams of oregano, and 136 grams of a non-fat dry milk powder. As far as the liquid for this recipe, I'm going to be using beer instead of water that I normally use in my sausage. Now this is a recipe, again, that you guys created. Stay tuned. Alright, so I've got my 7.5 pounds of pork here that I still need to cube up, and my brisket trim right here, which is already in small pieces, so I probably won't be doing anything to this. So all I'm doing at this point is cutting the pork and the brisket trim into smaller cubes, small enough to fit down the chute of my grinder. If you have a smaller meat grinder, just cut your cubes a little bit smaller. But I've got a 1.5 horsepower meat grinder, which has a really large throat. Now the perfect lean to fat ratio for sausage is about 70%. And if you're using a whole pork shoulder or a whole packer brisket, you're gonna get that 70% lean, 30% fat. Now sometimes you will get a pork shoulder or even a brisket with a really large fat cap. You just want to trim that back a little bit and try to keep it at that 70-30 ratio. All right, so I'm just going to cut up my brisket trim and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so I just took the grinder out of the freezer so it's ice cold. I've got the meat loaded up. I also have the habanero peppers right here, and on occasion I'm going to drop a couple of these down that chute. Here we go. All right, so I've got the meat ground up. I'm just gonna add our dry ingredients. Just spread them out evenly. Now, since the habanero pepper is 160 times hotter than the jalapeno pepper, I only used about 2% of the weight of the meat in habanero peppers. If I make a sausage that has jalapeno, I've used up to 15%. But again, because the habanero is so much hotter, I'm definitely gonna use a lot less. Now here's the turmeric, so you're probably wondering what this is gonna do to the sausage. It's gonna give it a nice earthy flavor and also give us a nice kind of an orangey color like the habanero pepper. Here's our garlic powder. This is a granulated garlic. Our onion powder. Can't forget the black pepper. And of course our non-fat dry milk powder. Now what this is going to do, it's going to help bind the sausage mixture and also retain a lot of the moisture inside the sausage. Now this is going to be a fresh sausage, so I'm not using any type of curing salt. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be using a beer for my liquid. This is a Modelo Negro beer. which is what you guys chose. So I'm adding about a cup right now. And since this is only 15 pounds, I'm just gonna mix this up by hand. Oh man, it smells good. That beer really has a strong aromatic to it. Another question that I often get asked is how much water or liquid to use in your sausage. I gotta tell you, man, the way I do it is once it feels right is when I stop. Just add a little bit at a time, because remember, when you add, you can't take out. All right, so I'm gonna add the entire beer in here. All right, so I'm gonna mix this up really well. Get all these ingredients mixed up in there, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, guys, so I added another whole beer, and this texture is right where I want it, super sticky. Check it out, it's sticking to my hand the way I want it to. So I'm just gonna make a small patty, fry it up, come back and give it a taste. All right, so I've got our patty fried up. Let's see how we did. Let me show you the fat that is draining off of this. It's got a yellow color to it, and that's from that turmeric, okay? So here we go, nice and juicy. Oh man, I see some Habanero peppers in there. This is still really hot. Here we go. All right, first off, the salt is perfect. The other spices are perfect. It has a little bit of kick, I ain't gonna lie. It's starting to burn a little bit, but it's not too hot. This is perfect. All right, let's get ready to stuff these sausages up. I had my meat mixture in the fridge. I had my canister in the freezer, so everything's ice cold. I gotta tell you guys, that heat level on that habanero patty that I fried up earlier is perfect. If you like it really hot, I would add another percent for a total of 3%, but I gotta tell you that 2% is perfect. I love heat. I think it could use a little bit more habanero, but my daughter and my wife both loved it, and it's not too hot for them, so it's perfect. Pack it in there really nice and tight and try to remove any air pockets. I also want to take the opportunity to ask, if you're not subscribed to my channel, to please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you get notified when I release a new video. And if you are into sausage making, I want to recommend two channels, which are my two favorite sausage making channels. You got Chud's Barbecue. Check out the links below inside the description box to his channel. And also Two Guys in the Cooler. Eric is a savage at making sausage as well. All right, so I've got my canister filled up. Just gonna load it up here. Grab my horn, install that, tighten it up really well. Lower down that piston and bring your meat out to the tip of your horn right here. All right, I've got my casings right here. Just in case you're wondering, I do get these casings from PS Seasoning. In fact, here's the package. This is the brand that I use, again from PS Seasoning. This is the Van Hessen brand. Now these casings have been sitting in warm water for about an hour now, just to get them a little bit more pliable. So I'm gonna stick 2 fingers in there, pick up some of that warm water. This is gonna help flush the casing and also make it easier to load on your horn. I've got some avocado spray here. I like to spray the horn down just a little bit. Load up your casing. And you want to lift with your right hand to take out the water from the casing. All right, pull it out just a little bit. Make yourself a simple knot. Got some ice cubes here. Keep everything ice cold. Remember, there's no curing salt on this, so try to keep your mixture as cold as possible. All right, let's get to stuffing. Just apply a little bit of pressure. You want your casings to get nice and filled, but not too filled. And the aroma that's coming from this mixture is fantastic. These are gonna be good. All I'm doing is applying a little bit of pressure with my index and my thumb right here. Just a little bit of pressure. And you want to keep that constant pressure, because if you stop or let go, you will get an air pocket, and that's no bueno. All right, we are towards the end of the casing. going to stop right there, tie a knot at the end, and I'm done with this casing. I'm going to stuff the rest of these up, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so I've got all the casings stuffed up. Now it's time to twist up the links, and I've got this tray marked at 6.5 inches and also 7 inches, and I'm going to go with 7 inches for these Habanero sausages. So just measure out 7 inches, pinch right here, measure out another 7 inches, pinch, and then twirl. Now you want to twirl just enough so that your casings are nice and tight. So it's okay to not overstuff your casing because you can tighten it up on the twisting process. So 7 inches, and just twirl, just like that. Just a couple of times is good enough. Let's do one more. 7 inches, pinch, and twirl. All right, I'm gonna link the rest of these up, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so I got these sausage all linked up, and I ended up with 40 links, but I did save about 1.5 pounds because we want to make some sausage patties out of that meat. Just a reminder that I didn't use any curing salt on this sausage mixture, so this is considered a fresh sausage. Now you don't want to cold smoke this, but you can still get a little bit of smoke on these. Now I'm going to let these rest in my fridge for a couple of hours, and then I'm going to come back and cook some up on my Weber kettle. Stay tuned. All right, let's get my 1962 Weber kettle fired up. I'm going to be using Jealous Devil lump charcoal today. I'm going to be using my grill gun to get this lump charcoal lit up. Check out the links below and grab yourself one of these if you don't already have one. Here we go. Man, that took about 30 seconds. I'm gonna let these coals ash over, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so it's been about 30 minutes since I lit my Weber kettle. Let's go ahead and load up these sausages. Now I did add 3 chunks of mesquite just to give us some extra smoke. And here are the Habanero sausages. These suckers are nice and big. So you don't have to cold smoke your sausages to get a nice smoky flavor on them. You can use your Weber kettle with this setup right here, or you can use your pellet smoker at 225 degrees, and that'll give the sausages a nice smoky flavor. Now I am going to be searing these sausages off towards the end, just putting them right over the coals and get some nice char on these. So I'm going to let these smoke for about 30 minutes, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so it's been about 30 minutes since we first put our sausages on. Man, I gotta tell you, these handles from 1962 get really hot. Not sure how they did it back then, but I know how we do it today. Man, those sausages are getting a really nice color. So these sausages are probably about halfway done. So I'm just gonna flip them over. Get some smoke on the bottom side as well. And I'm also gonna move these around a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna let these sausages cook for another 30 minutes, and we'll see you guys inside. Stay tuned. All right, so these sausages are ready, and the total cook time was 1 hour and 15 minutes. I didn't even have to sear these over the coals. They came up to temperature really quick. Check out this awesome looking color right here. Man, these smell absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna move these aside and slice into this bad boy right here. Let's see how we did. Oh my. We even have a smoke ring in here. Is it juicy? You tell me. That's what that milk powder does. Again, it retains that moisture in the sausage. Let's give these bad boys a try. All right, I can't wait to give this sausage a try. It smells absolutely fantastic. Again, check out that smoke ring. Man, these are hot. They just came off. I know I'm gonna burn my mouth, but here we go. All right, so these sausages have a really good smoky flavor. The habanero flavor is perfect. The heat level is perfect. Again, if you like it spicy, use 3% of the total weight in habanero, and you'll be happy with that. We have habanero in every single bite. You can see that orange flake right there. Man, these are good. Man, that heat level is starting to creep up on me right now. It's not overpowering, it's actually really good. So I just have a piece of bread here. I'm gonna use plain old yellow mustard. A lot of it. Top this bad boy off. Check that out. Man, this is gonna be good. Cheers, guys. So I just gave a little piece to my daughter. If it's not hot Cheetos, my daughter won't eat it. What do you think about the heat level, baby?
The heat is perfect and it's not that hot.
Really, you like it? Awesome. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this habanero sausage recipe. If this is your first time to my channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Until next time, Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit Barbecue. See ya.